I told you, man, this is a drive. This is a highway ride, right?
Like, yeah, they missed like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Y'all missed 4 minutes already.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was telling somebody last night, you know, when I start working on something, bro, I work on it, I stay with it, and that's just me. It's always been me. You know, I have my record shop. I did that for 25 years. I stay stuck with it. You know, the job that I do now, I've been doing for 8 years. Been on radio forever. Like, the things, when I start doing something, I stay with it and I make it happen and make it work. That's my whole goal, bro, is to make it work. So this website, funkyfreshradio.com, is going to be huge. It's going to be a game changer, you know, for the city. It's about the city.
So when did that become a thought? Like, when did you think this is what I need to do for this city?
So let me say this, sir. Let me put this, what they call it, a tag on it. Everything that I'm gonna say is not personal to anybody. Anything I say is not to talk about or hurt or anything about anybody in this city when it comes to Boston hip hop. There's a hard conversation. There's a conversation that has to happen. There's things that have to be said, whether it's about individuals or people. What authority of Boston hip hop has to be heard. So I just want to put that out here. I'm not maliciously here to talk about anybody, anything of that nature. The city is bad. It's in bad shape when it comes to Boston hip hop, and nobody talks about it. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody humbles down to it. Nobody takes ownership. Nobody takes responsibility. Nobody does anything. Everybody just talks and points the fingers. So I got to keep it 100.
And he's just upset. Oh, y'all.
So you're right. I mean, so the truth is the truth.
Yeah, no, with you.
The truth is the truth, and I'm not here, like I said, I'm not here to blame nobody in particular. It's the whole piece of Boston and New England hip hop.
Okay.
All right.
So what's wrong? Where are the problems?
I mean, now you got to look at, the city's been this way for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Now, I was like I said, I watch Facebook all the time. So big shout out to, and I'm gonna say big shout out to my man Derek Lemire at getmoney.com.
Okay.
I think so. It's getmoney.com, right?
Yep.
Big shout out to my brother. He's doing well. But he had posted the other day, you know, he's moving to California.
Is he?
Yeah. He's moving to California. Salute. I hear that. That's dope. Growth, progression has to happen. But the problem with that for me, and I'm sure for others, he's a marketing company, which the city needs, what artists need, so on and so forth. You know, we build ourselves up, you know, to get a name out here, to support artists and do things for artists. Then we get an opportunity, we pack up and we leave. How can we ever keep anything? How can we ever build anything if we leave? Look at the Source. Same thing. You know, this even goes back to Maurice Starr, love him to death. Same thing. We move forward. We move out of
and move on.
And everyone says I'm going to continue to help the city, but eventually move on and forget about the city. You know, I mean, it is what it is. You'll get the argument about, oh, there's no support in the city. You know, you'll get that. You'll get, oh, nobody wants to pay for anything. You'll get that. You're absolutely right. That does exist. But the battle is because there's a lack of education. So if you start a school and you move the school, no one will ever get educated in the future. You know what I'm saying?
So you take the education with you.
And you take it away. So that's one of the main reasons why, you know, I've been here for so long and I've been doing so many things for the city, for education. There's been many times I could have moved my record store to a whole bunch of places. There's been a million times I've been offered jobs at record companies. I've had all that. But how do you take that and then offer it back to the city? You can't. You know, and again, I'm not talking about people. I'm just talking about the visual of what something happens and what it does to a city.
Gotcha.
That's why we don't have anything, because everything goes. You know, people go because of the lack of support of the city. So now let's look at the city. We talk about lack of support. Yeah, you know, people don't know how to support. What does support mean? Oh, hit like on Facebook? No. Support means going out to shows, supporting that artist, buying their music, supporting that artist, help promote that artist. All of that is part of support, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we got this all mixed up. We got the vision of trying to get into the music business, being part of the music business, education of the music business. It's all messed up, or the lack of.
Okay. So what is your plan? I know the website. What's Rusty's plan to change this?
Well, I mean, before we get into that, we got to go back. So being on radio, being on Touch,
Yep.
For 8 years and playing strictly Boston hip hop music, you got to realize, playing music is one thing. Playing music for artists is one thing. So once that music's being played on the radio for that artist, not technically the DJ or the host job is done.
Okay.
It's the artist's responsibility from that point on to begin their marketing, their branding, their whatever it is after that to coincide with radio play. Not just play my record. You know what I mean? See, artists don't tweet out, request my joint on such and such station. Listen to such and such station, play my record. Or artists don't put radio station information on their mix CD. Artists don't put, listen to my joints. They got a show going on. Listen to my joint on such and such radio show as I perform here at such and such. Artists don't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not about just play my record. Because at the end of the day, play my record don't really mean anything if you have no backing behind your record. Do you get that?
So what's the backing? What do you mean?
Backing behind your record is fan base that want to hear your record. Okay, our job is to break music. Absolutely right. Our job is to break dope records. That's always been my job, is to break dope records. Once I break your record, your job is to build the fan base from the record that's being broke. And your fan base is supposed to be listening to my show, listen to your record. I hope that made sense.
Did it?
You know what I mean? So if there's no fan base listening to my show, listening to your record, then what's the sense of me playing your record? That's radio. It's not personal.
Makes all kind of sense to me.
You have to understand, radio is striving to be heard just as much as you. Why do you think Jammin' plays Panda 100 times a day? Because
there's a fan base out there that wants to hear it.
Exactly.
They're going to tune in to the radio station to hear Panda.
Exactly.
Once every hour on the hour.
Exactly.
For 94.
Exactly.
Which is torture, but anyways.
But it's a reason for that. Let's switch to that. That's a reason for that.
Right.
You know that.
Yes.
So to get a record played 10 times, 15 times a day is a mind game for the music business.
Absolutely.
If I spoon feed you this record one time, you're gonna, that record sucks. If I play it to you 15 times, the 16th time that's gonna be your favorite record.
You're gonna be singing it, don't even know you're singing it.
Exactly. That's the whole purpose of branding a record. And that's what happens. And that's what artists have to do. Not send 20 records to a DJ, or not put out 20 records at a time.
Right.
Because mentality-wise, mind-wise, a person, and I'm coming from retail because that's where I come from, a person can't hold on to that much music at one time.
Right.
So you promote a single at a time.
And you beat it into the ground.
So a record, music business knowledge, a record has to be worked at least 6 months. One record has to be worked for 6 months for it to pop off. And then the next 6 months is the big record. So that's a year.
Okay.
That's a year. See, but nobody does that. Dudes don't do that. Because everyone wants to put out 1,000 records.
They do it for about a month.
Okay.
I feel like a song. I feel like they move. It feels that way. I don't know. Just
dudes put out 30 records and want you to play all 30 when people say, the music business don't move that way.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not personal, but something that I struggle with when I hear, and I just want your opinion on it. I hear rappers say, "This is real hip hop," and I want your opinion on whether or not there's such a thing as fake hip hop. Like, is there such thing of that this right here is real? So then that by default means that hip hop is not real.
Well, that can't be defined anymore. Now, if you go back to, we'll step back to when, you know, rap started and rap progressed. We'll go back to that.
Yeah.
When we go back to when the Sugar Hill Gang and when the Grandmaster Flash all that started, there was only one kind, right?
Right.
So as we progressed on, we started getting different things. We started getting Eric B. and Rakim. We started getting Big Daddy Kane. KRS-One. So you see the divide starting to happen.
Yes.
Okay. So the title Real Hip Hop hasn't changed yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So as we progressed on after that, Public Enemy to NWAs, you know, so on and so forth, dividing started to stop. Real hip hop, gangster hip hop, you know. So that dividing started to happen. As we progressed on, we started getting more records.
From the South,
from the you know, from the Bismarcky singing to the D4L, you know, to the Supermans, to all that. So now, So now, music started getting bad.
Okay. Yeah.
To some eyes.
Yep.
So what started happening is that the different kind of music that has turned into nursery rhyme or whatever case you want to call it, now has been deemed the not good music.
Right.
Where the real hip hop that we've come from, the gang stars and the things of that nature, still remains as true hip hop. Okay. So now, mind you, hip hop now has geared in a different direction. So now we have what used to be the official original hip hop. Now we have some new hip hop. Which story, fake, glorification of anything, whatever the case may be, now have become. Now we have two kinds of music now. Okay. One we deemed real hip hop. One we deemed whatever. So now when you look at the present day, you think of the J Dillas and, you know, you think of all that of true hip hop. Of what was. So that's why it has to be true. So when you think of sneakers, the Chucks, those are true sneakers, right?
I got you.
Would that be deemed the true hip hop of sneakers?
Okay. All right. So you're making me more comfortable with the idea. When I hear real hip, when I hear him say it just drives me crazy, because to me all hip hop is real. It's just different. Your feel is different than his or hers or theirs or them, and so it's all real. It's just preference. But I get it. I get it. So when they say real, well, I don't know if they mean it, but when you say it, you mean it. It's origin. From where? Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. I've been waiting. I've been sitting on that one to ask you that.
Absolutely.
Okay. So back to the website. So you got a website coming /radio website.
You keep jumping right to that, bro. You won't even let me line it up right. You jump right to that, bro. All right.
I just saw it. That's like he was showing it to me. So now that's all that's in my head. Like, ooh, that looks dope.
FunkyFreshRadio.com coming real soon.
That looks dope.
All about Boston hip hop, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Is going to be all Boston, New England hip hop. Okay, but let me just go back a little bit. So, I was on the radio at 8 years at Touch 106.1 FM, playing Boston hip hop Friday and Saturday night from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. So that's 5 hours of hip hop Friday and Saturday. So that's 10 hours of hip hop. So that was my thing. That's my thing. I believe Boston hip hop needs to be heard. There's so many cats making so much great music, but with no avenue for it to be heard. We have radio in the city. That's a whole different other story, which politics are involved, which you got to understand. Corporate radio, and then you got other radio that, some cats just not tuned into playing so much Boston hip hop. Whatever feelings that they may have, it is what it is. But for me, after 8 years of Touch and going through what situation that we had to go through with Touch, I took time out last summer. I got off the radio last summer. I believe it was, matter of fact, last June. So it's been a year, I think, that I've been off the radio over at Touch. So throughout that year, you know, a lot of, you know, shows, a lot of radio shows, a lot of internet shows have popped up since then, dedicating themselves to Boston hip hop, playing hip hop. I'm not here to judge anybody's view or reasoning or why they do what they did, but I don't see the same stamina. I don't see the same follow-up or after or support for the city in a whole. Okay, now, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to talk about anything, but my view and my perception is totally different from others. I see a bigger scale opposed to self-satisfaction for individuals. So people do what they do for whatever reasons, whatever. So my thing is this, is that the problem with the city and Boston hip-hop and radio and so on and so forth, there's no structure in it. Everybody's running in every direction. Everybody's over here, people over here. Everybody's all over the place. Because of that, there's no structure.
Okay.
When there's no structure, there's mayhem. Okay? There's no guidelines. There's no following. There's no how to make somebody or something better. Everything has to have a plan, a structure, a strategy, or an understanding. That's
Totally agree.
just life.